Today is Thursday, 2025, August 14th. This is my trade review. So two trades today. One was Tesla, one was Q's. We'll dive right into it. So we'll start off with the Q's first, or I guess the market bias. So today the market did gap down. However, it was gapping into this prior bar's low. Sorry, the open close. Yeah, sorry, we were opening right here. This is actually a green bar, as you can see, this little volume guide here. We just zoom out, it's actually a green bar still. Um, and I did not think it was bearish because it needed to get over this kind of support level right here. We look to the left, there's nothing. More or less the same things on the Qs. Qs, it had to get below this area for me, which it did for a little bit, and then eventually bounced up. Um, So we'll jump right into it. The first trade I took was Tesla. Tesla, I did a little buy setup. Oh, you see these actually, let's take a step back. I started drawing these little blue bars here because I find that I get a better idea of where the support resistance are. It's definitely a big range. Drawing these lines is not, I find that it hasn't been as good for me, especially when I'm drawing support areas that are a little bit closer. Like for further away, for example, Tesla right here, I can kind of see these lines are making a little bit more sense instead of drawing through. So in any case, I've been trying this out. It seems to be working for me. So for Tesla in the morning, it was, I think, a relative weak to the market. Let me just do a quick comparison here. I guess more or less the same. More or less the same with the market. I was doing a more so 5 minute buy setup right right here. So doing like a 5 minute buy setup right here, you got finally broke through the support, pulled back about 50%, rested at the previous day's low. So I'm like, okay, maybe with these bottom tails, it'll push it back up. We kind of cleared everything, cleared this line as well, and I felt pretty good about it. Um, got in, and then next far out, I was out, unfortunately. So. I don't have any qualms about this trade. I would say if I were to look at it again, the only possible thing would be maybe there's just a little bit too much going on here. But like I said, I thought that it held support here, broke through the little wedge on the kind of like a breakout on the 5 minute, or even you can like look at it like this. All right, right here, held it. I guess I could have waited, but I yeah, I felt pretty good about it at the time, and it just didn't work out. So that we lost 1 R there. And then Q's, what I drew was I think at the time it was a 65 minute. Yeah. So one, two, three, fourth touch. Um, in the open, it just took off from this area. And then it pulled all the way back and I have a little area of support right here. You can see all these tails here. If we look on the 15, all these little tails here, they all bounce. Um, and what I did was, as I saw this tail formed, I got in right here. So we drill down to the 1 minute and 2 minute. I got in at 479. Got in at 579 as it broke through the 2 minute. I gave it 40 cents. So I had a 60 cent range. It was chopping for quite a bit. I think this was like a good 15 minutes, and eventually it took off. Kind of broke my plan here because it was into the VWAP. I was a little bit skittish, right? So my 2R was 580.20. Pull back and then went. I sold it for a little bit over 1.5 bars. So that that made the difference. That made the difference. I sold it around, what is it? I sold it right here. Right here. And that was the difference it made. I could have got a full 2R and then immediately pulled back. Today I had the luxury. I took the day, I took a couple of days off work. Um, I would have continued trading on this, honestly, and it felt good. I was very patient today. All in all, half R should have been a 1 R day. A couple other stuff I want to talk about. I was kind of learning these fair value gaps. And I actually saw this in Apple, didn't take it. Initially, I thought about maybe doing Apple in the support area. You got a lot of tails, but Apple was way too weak. Plus, there was another level right here. And that was just not a good range to play. I really contemplated on just going along here. Thank goodness I didn't. You see it kind of chopped around. The fair value gap I actually was contemplating was right here. So as it goes into this zone, we have this first bar, this igniting bar, and then this is the third bar. And when I got up here, I remember at the moment I thought, hey, maybe I can go along because now Apple's getting stronger, even though the market was pulling back. However, I'm like, it needs to pull back to this area, eats up all liquidity, and it should go up. And that's exactly what I did. Fell back right into the fair value gap. And even I think even if I did it on a 2 minute time frame, let's say it's here, right here. This should have been a 2R. Yeah. This goes 3R, I believe. Yeah, so just something I observed, and I was tracking it, so that was pretty neat. The other trade I was looking at early on in the day was actually Amazon. Again, right here, um, had a little support area. I mean, it started up here and it pulled back, and I kind of like this little area. I drew this very early on in the day. I had contemplated on going in here. I think my exact trade was 529.20. I just sneak in a little bit, and I would have given it 528.40 or 50. I saw this support twice, and I thought about going in here, but at that time, I think market was starting to pull back. Yeah, market started to really pull back close to 100%, right? So I decided to stay out. It would have peekabooed me out, and then this actually goes to R. Not that I would have stayed, not that I would have added here, but it's just a pretty interesting observations. So these bars have really been coming into play for me, and I really like it. Another trade actually I thought about was Q's. Um, I actually really, I think you're right here. Was it on the one? Yeah, on the 1 minute. I had really contemplating on shorting this because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 minute bars in a row, and yeah, you're coming in an area of right here. I thought maybe it pushed up, go crazy today, push up another buck or two, then we can find a short because there's only 63% ATR, but kind of missed this initial drop, but nonetheless got it on the upside. So all in all, half R should have been an R, broke my plan. But yeah, that's my trade review for Thursday, 2025, August 14th. Thank you.